Transgender issues can be hard to talk about, but I thought I'd give it a go since I don't get enough hate mail. Sorry, hate cisgender mail. I think it's important to talk about these things. I admit I don't know much about trans issues, but I always enjoy hearing from someone who knows even less than me, like Congressman Matt Gaetz.
I strongly support the rights of transgender individuals, but I am concerned about the potential of bad actors who would exploit the provisions of this law for their own gain. Consider this possibility if President Trump were to say, "I am now the first female president."
Why do anti-trans politicians immediately jump to the most insane outcomes when it comes to talking about these issues? If a man can be a woman, what's next? A cat merging with a dog and growing a hamster out of its ass and opening a restaurant for baby Hitlers? Ooh, this is delicious. My compliments to the ass hamster. One area where transgender issues have been openly discussed is sports. Transgender athletes have accomplished some unbelievable feats, whether it's MMA fighter Fallon Fox winning fight after fight or Caitlyn Jenner working to outrun her endorsement of Donald Trump. More and more sports have been inclusive, like the CrossFit Games will allow transgender competitors for the first time. And CrossFit fans must be thinking, how am I supposed to explain this to my kids? And to that I say, you can't have kids. You ruptured your testicles flipping a tractor tyre. But many sports can be unfair and exclusive, like the case of Texas high school wrestler Matt Beggs, a trans male who was forced to compete with girls due to outdated rules.
Current UIL rules state boys may not wrestle against girls and vice versa, and gender shall be determined based on a student's birth certificate.
Birth certificates mean nothing. People change. Police officers don't say, we're looking for a man, he's 6 pounds 9 ounces, naked and crying. Suspect last seen leaving a vagina. So, because Texas refused to admit that being trans is a thing, they forced Beggs to wrestle girls. And then everyone got pissed when he won. You brought this on yourself, Texas! He wanted to fight other men, and Texas said, sorry, sir, but you'll hit these women the way the good Lord intended. It does feel like we weren't too worried about defining gender lines until transgender people started demanding equality. For f***'s sake, Sports Illustrated once named a horse one of the 100 greatest female athletes of all time. Even worse, that horse was later named Playmate of the Year. That was a tough wank, I tell you. Hey. When you listen to people who oppose trans rights, sometimes it sounds like it's less about fairness and more about simply stoking fears about trans people.
If any male person can call himself a woman or legally identify as female, then predatory men will do so in order to gain access to women's single-sex spaces.
What is this obsession with making trans people out to be these scheming predators? They only want to play sports so they can cheat. They only want to use a bathroom so they can molest kids. It's only a matter of time before Fox News runs a story about the 10 ways Laverne Cox plans to steal Christmas. And right now, I'm just talking about sports. If people are this freaked out about games with made-up rules, I can only imagine what trans people face when it comes to things that actually matter. Whatever the physical advantages or disadvantages of being trans, nobody is making that decision just to win a shiny medal. Look, I can't speak to what's best for the trans community, but my sock puppet can. What do you think, Socky? Things were simple back in my day. There were 2 types of socks. Dress socks and sports socks. That was it. Now there are no-sew socks, compression socks, ski socks. Have you seen those socks with toes in them? It's against humanity, I told you. But Socky, I support you, even though you were made to be on a foot, but now you're on my hand. Oh! Oh! I never thought of it that way. I guess I've been closed-minded. Like those dirty Oh, that's enough, Sucky! That's enough! That's enough! Are you going to behave? Dr. Schulz was a Jew. Okay, that's enough. All right. All right. You know you can learn a lot by having a rational conversation. That wasn't one of those.